Have you ever wanted to learn about advanced sales and marketing? In this video right here today, we're going to go over the advanced sales and marketing component of the 5x5 business system. And what we're going to do is I'm going to share my screen here on the sales life cycle. What the sales life cycle does is it gives you a very complex overview of the entire sales process, what you're supposed to be doing every step of the way. So I'm not really going over how to sell something today per se, but I'm going through all of the steps in the sales cycle, in the sales life cycle, so that you can make sure they are implemented to increase your sales and productivity in your sales team. So let's go ahead and let's make sure I go over there and we jump over there right now. Okay. Here we go. Here is the sales life cycle. Now, the sales life cycle, we created this, and several of my companies, I created this, put this together to help businesses understand that the key to success and sales success is to literally identify and eliminate the pain points in the customer life cycle to create improved sales. If you can eliminate the pain points, eliminate the difficulties, then you will be a much more effective business. So it starts off here. If you want more information about any of this, go to ibaunited.com. And remember, before we move forward, like and share and subscribe this video if you're on any of our platforms. That really helps us to continue to put out great information. So we start off here on the sales life cycle. I really emphasize that the key to success is to identify and eliminate the pain points in the customer life cycle. We come down immediately to this blue section. And right there, we're going to start really identifying that this is the customer life cycle, how we take them from the world, everybody in the world, every possible person, and then we arrange them into a group of prospects, then leads, then customers, repeat customers, and fanatics. Now, to take them through this process, not everybody is your customer. Not even everybody is your prospect. The world is absolutely everybody. Your prospects are people you just think or believe that they can use your product or service. You might even have a little bit of data to support that or show that, but really, they're not your clients yet. You have no confirmation. Then to get them into the lead stage, so what you're going to do for prospects is those are the people you're going to email market to, you're going to put Facebook ads to, you're going to do direct mail, you're going to be doing all of this stuff, advertising free content to the world and to prospects. You want to try to target all of your advertising, any of your paid advertising or systems to prospects people. So you really want to make sure all of that content goes out to prospects. And then once they go from being a prospect to a lead, that's when you're going to start being able to do more long-term lead nurturing, where you're sending regular emails. Maybe they signed up for a white paper. Maybe they're part of a social media profile or a following or something like that. But this is where leads start to they have qualified themselves. To get past every stage here, they have to qualify themselves. And so in order to qualify themselves, they might ask for more information. They might set up a meeting. They might come into your store. And then you finally get them across the first goal line. The first goal line is where they become a lead to a customer. That's the first goal line, from a lead to a customer. The next goal line, the second goal line, is becoming a customer to a repeat customer. So that's when they're staying on for a longer period of time. And the third goal line is where they go from being a repeat customer into a fanatic of your business. That's the sales process there. That's the sales life cycle. Now let's look at some of the details here as we're looking into this. List generation actions. Everything is about action. So you might do Facebook, you might have websites, you might have emails, You might have phone, like phone calls. You might have P2P. You might have direct mail, inbound, advertising, white papers, free product offerings, trainings, all of that sort of stuff. Those are the sort of things. And you're at the stage of what we call, who is this relationship? That's, who is this? Like if you call up a boyfriend or girlfriend, you call up somebody and you want to start a relationship, they're going to answer the phone and they're going to say, who is this? And then you're basically going to start advertising to this group of people, and preferably towards the prospect stage. You want to qualify the whole world. You don't want to advertise to the whole world. You want to advertise to only your prospects. So there's a little bit of confusion here, but once you get to the prospect stage, that is where you're going to start giving them free stuff. It's the free stuff relationship, that because you're trying to get their attention. So you're reaching out and they come to you because they want more knowledge or more information, or they want to know how to braid hair, whatever it is that you're doing. So you are trying to find out who those people are and what they're going to respond to. That's the phase that you're at. You're really at mass market, mass media, not high touch, not personal touch, not direct contact. You're not quite at that stage yet, at this prospect stage. And then you come into the lead stage. And the lead stage really starts off with long-term lead nurturing. Usually they've already gotten onto your email list or onto a mailing list, or they've responded. And so now you're starting to develop a relationship. For simple companies, this lead stage might be very short. For complex companies, it might be very long. It just depends on your type of business. But this is where sometimes they do online shopping. Sometimes you do case studies with them, that sort of thing. Now, then there's this little green dash line. That's the first goal line, is where you go with a lead to customer conversion ratio. And usually at that lead stage, that's when you're going to get to you're going to start spending more money. This is the first time they spend money with you. They become a customer. They make a purchase. That's how you define a customer. They make a purchase. You want to follow up with them again and again and again. And you're at the call me relationship stage. At the lead stage, you're still dealing with getting over the hurdle. You're at that timid first date stage where you're just trying to figure out, hey, can you open your wallet to me? But after they get through that first sale, they've opened the wallet. Sometimes you have a low barrier to entry. Sometimes you have loss leaders or inexpensive products with a low barrier to entry to get them through the door. Then you follow up with them, regular follow-up, sometimes direct mail, sometimes phone calls, depending on your business type and your business structure. But you're going to start increasing the touch points and the communication points. And you're at the, hey, give me a call. Let's talk. Let's go out. Let's do something. And that's when they go from being a customer to a repeat customer. It's because you're nurturing that relationship. You're building it out. And when they become a repeat customer, you get them past the second goal stage. Now, you don't want to stop here. Now, these is the going steady stage of your relationship. This is where they are coming back. Maybe you have a monthly recurring revenue. Maybe they've signed up to your regular promotion. Maybe they're coming into your store once a month, once every couple of weeks, maybe several times a week. Who knows? But they're making multiple purchases. So at this point in stage, how do you improve that? Gifts and promotional products and promotional offerings. So these are the people, in order to increase the relationship with them, you have to give them some special attention. So that's what you're going to do. You're going to send them a special gift. Now you're going to analyze this and figure out what it is. One company I knew, they actually had a direct mail program, and they created custom boxes, and these boxes were valued at anywhere from $20 to $100, and they'd send it out to their top tier clients. Now, these were clients paying thousands of dollars to be with the company, to work with the company. So it made sense in order to do this, but they sent these thank you gifts to help increase the relationship. And they only sent it to a couple hundred people, but that's the point. You're at the point where you're trying to reach out, trying to go the extra mile, trying to make them fall in love with you. If you do that and do that well and really reach out to them, give them a lot of personal attention, they become fanatics. And this is where you want to think about your referral system and your referral plan, how you plan on generating massive amount of referrals. And this is the level where the customer says, you are my soulmate. I want to marry you. I want to be with you forever. The ultimate goal is to turn every customer into a fanatic, every single one, so that they become basically salespeople and promoters for your company, sharing that. Now, from the repeat customer phase to the fanatic stage, it's a cycle. It's cyclical, where you just keep on. It's a customer recycling phase where the customers just keep on going through that. And your job is to nurture and maintain that relationship. So let's really quick talk about strategies and concepts. So strategies and concepts, I have them written down here in this first orange bar section down here. Strategies and concepts in the world, the prospecting stage is like advertising, free content, YouTube channels, Facebook posts, that sort of thing. Once you get into the prospecting phase, this is specific outreach to a specific group of people. This is going to be more like email marketing. It's going to be white papers, specific social media groups, blog posts to answer specific questions to your prospects. This is what's going to help you do that. And then you're going to enter them into, hopefully, your long-term lead nurturing system. You should always have a system or a process. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't try to have too many systems. But you're going to have some form of long-term lead nurturing so you can have an excuse to reach out to them on a regular basis. And it's mostly going to be focused at this point in automated sales, in, hey, sign up for this course. Hey, I'm doing a teaching on this. Hey, we're doing this giveaway. We're doing this shopping thing. We're doing this shopping spree. Come in for the 5th Saturday sale. This is the lead stage. It's where you're really trying to give them a lot of value and generate that effort. But it is a mass market approach. Now, in high ticket sales, this is where you obviously need to reach out to them. High ticket sales is very relational, very people driven. But otherwise, this is mass market driven. So that's when you get into the customer phase. Getting them past that first goal line, that deals with your lead. You're talking about lead generation to lead conversion, lead to sales conversion. That's what you're talking about there. You need to understand that lead conversion ratio. How many leads do you need in order to generate one customer? That's going to be a critical number that'll come down the road. Once they become paying clients, that's when you're going to start reaching out, spending a little more, increasing your spend with direct mail, with phone calls, with outreaches. And as they go up that phase to becoming repeat clients, that's when you're going to give them special discounts, maybe gifts, maybe promotional clothing or something like that, so that they continue to come back and start promoting you. And notice that the promotional clothing, the gifts, all of that sort of stuff, the special events and the special access, notice that all of that is specifically geared at increasing your visibility and increasing your relationship with the buyers. That's exactly what it's geared towards. Let's jump back over there really quick and see what else is next. Next, we're going to come to the marketing key focus areas. In the beginning, when you're dealing with prospects and leads, you're going to focus on automation and awareness, on lead generation. And as you move down that line closer to that first goal line, that's when you're going to focus more and more on lead qualification and lead nurturing. That's really critical at this stage. After they become clients, that whole center section between on the automation, once they become customers and clients, that's when you're going to focus on repeat sales, recurring revenue, and referrals. Those are the three things you're going to focus on: repeat sales, recurring revenue, and referrals. And that's upsells, cross-sells, increasing items per purchase. All that kind of stuff does come into play as you're dealing with some of that. That's when we come down to what's classically referred to as the 3 stages of the sales process. In the pre-sales stage, it's all about lead generation and lead nurturing. In the sales event, it's right there in the middle in that lovely purple that purple arrow. It's your focus needs to be on sales skills, cross-selling, upselling, alternative options, creative solutions, those sorts of things. And that's when you're going to go to, it's really important to make sure you have all of your sales staff really have great sales training to make sure they're selling the customer or providing them an opportunity for the perfect purchase, that sort of concept. And then after you get past that one-time event of the sales event, you're moving into post-sales and the post-sales transition of marketing to existing customers. And you have to really think about that. That's a major thing. You need to market to your existing customers. So to give you a really, really simple example, your lead generation might be dumbed down or simplified. Simplified is a nicer way of saying it. It might be simplified to 1 or 2 things. For example, you might be going to local Chamber of Commerce events or BNI events, personal networking events. That might be the main form of lead generation, is doing those sorts of things. And then your sales event is all about your sales tactics. So you're going to want to make sure that you get brushed up on good selling techniques and make sure you know that. With the 5x5 business system, we have the 9 steps of selling. So we actually give a training on that. But that sales event, you have to make sure you have a good sales training process, and you want it to be a step-by-step process. You want to know exactly what questions to ask and shut up. And it's an old saying going 90-10, where you want to speak 10% of the time with the customer speaking 90% of the time. And 90% of what you say has to be driven towards questions. So it's really question-focused, answer-solution, focusing on the motivators. But the main area that a lot of businesses miss is follow-up marketing to existing customers. It's huge, huge, massively important. Let's keep scrolling up on here. Here's a great system that I put it in here because everybody should know about this. It's from Duct Tape Marketing. John Janst kind of coined this, and I don't know anybody else who actually created it, but everybody uses it, so I thought it was important. And I put a note here, right here. It's from the system called Duct Tape Marketing from John Janst. It says, you want your customers to know, like, trust, try, buy, repeat, and refer. You want them to know that whole process. First, they know you, then they like you, then they trust you, then they try you, that low dollar offering, then they buy from you, then they repeat that process. They become a multiple sales, and then they refer. John Janst wrote 2 great books that I want to recommend right now. One's called Duct Tape Marketing, and the other one's called The Referral Engine. Fantastic books. I really recommend them for anybody wanting to know about basic marketing, or even you can apply his concepts to complex businesses too. But for getting your feet wet on marketing and how to develop a referral system for your business. And then you're going to come down to, I'm going to show you the next process. Notice that each one of these color bars all are in vertical relation to one another. So when we scroll up here, when we're looking at prospects and leads, as you look down across here, you're going to notice that everything in that section, in that vertical section of prospects and leads, applies to prospects. Everyone that applies on leads applies to leads, wherever those are. This helps you understand what you're supposed to be doing. So let's keep moving on. We're going to go down to the buyer's journey. So the buyer's journey is a reference to creating the customer avatar, which is really It's really down, your customer avatar is down underneath prospects and the world. It's under both of those. But you want to search the world for your customer avatar, which is the ideal person, the ideal buyer that you would work with, the ideal customer. And then they need to be made aware of you. That's kind of in the prospecting phase. Then they need to be made into considering you, into a decision making. And the decision making is when they actually spend money with you. That's the decision making, when they first decide to spend money with you. And then in going into repeat sales. Now, along those lines, we have the seller's goals. I want you to understand what your goal is as a seller. So the seller's goals, I told you this was kind of complex. I told you this is really high-level stuff. So at the very beginning, you want to identify your ICP, your ideal customer profile. This is your customer avatar, your ICP, your ideal customer profile. Then you want to identify your lead acquisition strategy. It's how are you going to generate leads to bring them into your business, whether that's through in-person things, whether it's through big signage, or whether it's through online marketing, whatever it is. You don't have to have a million of them. Most businesses find 2 to 3 systems that they use that work. It's the same fishing hooks they put out there. That's your lead generation system, but you need a lead acquisition strategy. Then you want a lead nurturing system in place, because not everybody's ready to buy right away. So you need to find a way of nurturing them. And that's where you come into defining your value. Before the sale, before that first sale, you have to define your value. And this is also known as qualifying. So defining your value to them. Then you have the sales event where they actually make the purchase. And then going into long-term lead nurturing is moving forward with the second sale, and then a repeat customer, and then becoming ultimately a fanatic. And so that's the entire process there. You need to make sure you think about each one of those stages. Now, this is a whole ton. You want to think about these and apply them to your business. You're not going to have an answer for every single slot, but find the ones that resonate with you and say, this is what I'm going to do to solve this one problem. This is going to bring us down to the 5-step sales process. The 5-step sales process: identifying your ideal customer profile, building your lists, which is usually like an email marketing list or direct mail list, qualifying and classifying them. So your list, you want to qualify them as to what type of buyers are they, and can you classify them? For example, a hardware store might want to qualify them as a home, they do personal home repair, as opposed to I'm a very large client working on massive amounts of houses as a commercial contractor. So you want to qualify them, you want to classify them so you can send them the right marketing messages. But then making the sale and leading into long-term lead nurturing, where you continue to build that relationship moving forward. And I don't have it here, but ultimately it's always about driving them towards fanaticism, where they love you and they love your business. Okay, let's move on really quick here. We're going to go down here. Before we get to the simple sales system, we're going to look here right in the middle, right in this middle section. Okay. All of these scales, yellow, green, red, blue, purple, this is a scale. When you're on the left-hand side of lead generation, you want to lead towards more automation. And when you lead on the right-hand side of lead generation, it's more expensive, and it's more about attention that you're giving people. It's really important. As you go both ways along this ladder, it's a scale from left to right. Looking on the income generation scale, when people are far on the left-hand side, when they're prospects, you ain't making money, but when they become fanatics, you make a lot of money. When you look at the cost to acquire the sales scale, on the left, cost is really expensive. On the right, believe it or not, repeat customers' cost decreases. Yes, cost actually decreases. It's really funny that way, but it's true. Now, customer contact, when they are just a prospect or a lead, lower level of personal contact. I mean, personal contact, not group contacts, but personal contact. And as they work towards becoming a client, a multiple time client, and a high level client, it's a higher level of contact. So a lot more personal contact. Then on the relationship facility scale, it's actually very, very hard to find leads, to find prospects, to market to them. It's really hard. And then as you build up that relationship, you always have to build a relationship. You have to build it, but it's easier to maintain that relationship as long as you're coming through. So in the beginning, if you hose something up, a lot of customers will just drop you and say, forget it, I'm not working with you, I'll go to your competitor. But once somebody has been a client with you for a while, if you hose something up, your delivery's late or not perfect, you can say, I'm sorry, let me fix that for you. And it becomes much easier to maintain those relationships. So that's what you need to realize there as you're going through those. Now, really quick, in the next couple of minutes, I want to go over this last section, which is the simple sales system. I created this system, the simple sales system here at the very bottom. Generate some lead sources, which are your prospects. Create lead magnets. So your lead sources are going to be things like social media, YouTube, direct mail, local networking, that sort of thing, advertising, referral programs. Secondly, create a series of lead magnets. These are going to be infographics, web courses, calculators, contests, mass market communication that you can give away. Maybe it's a podcast where you're interviewing people specific to your industry. All of that should direct them to some form of automated sales. Yes, I just said automated sales. Automated sales. It used to be people would fill out a postcard and mail the postcard in. That was their automated sales system. Now it's websites and apps and stuff like that. But think automated sales websites, automated sales apps where people can go to Amazon. They don't have to talk to anybody. They just go, I want this, click buy. That's what they want. So websites tied to specific lead magnets or automated sales funnels tied to specific lead magnets. And then if they give their email and everything else to you, then they're going to get the lead magnet and they become a prospect that you're going to mail out to and try to reach to. You're going to try to qualify them into a group program or a low dollar offering. That's when you're going to start trying to get those low dollar offerings. It's an extension of a lead magnet. So if you're selling art supplies or something like that, you might have a free course to get them to start buying some art supplies or something like that. That's kind of your group program, low dollar offerings. Entry-level pricings, that's what you want to think of, entry-level pricings. But you always want to put them on a Zoom call and try to do follow-up sales to your premium programs. This is going to be your high-ticket, high-dollar offerings, one-to-one attention, the most expensive pencil sets, the expensive cars, everything else. And eventually, if you win people, you'll get them up through the premium program. If at any point in time somebody fails, they automatically get sent to your long-term lead nurturing system. Automated, Facebook groups, mass market, email campaigns, mass market direct mail, YouTube channels, sharing contests, those sorts of things. Now, I know it's only been like 30 minutes, and we have just gone through tons of information on the sales life cycle. I want you to be successful. If you work with IBA, with an IBA advisor, we will help apply this to your business to help you become more successful in business. This is what you need to really drive the success of a company. You need to think through this process, find out one or two things that you can focus on, and do those one or two things. You don't have to do everything. You don't have to be everything to everyone. Just one or two things at every stage of the process of the system. Make sure you have your prospects, make sure you have your leads and their customers. Make sure you have a process for them to become customers and a process to walk them forward so that they become repeat customers and ultimately fanatics. That's really only like 4 or 5 different things that you really have to target into. It's really important, critical. I'm Jeremiah with IBA United. I hope this video was helpful. I look forward to working with you. Please like and share, subscribe, click the like button, share it with your friends. Check out more at our website where we give away the entire 5x5 business system for free. I look forward to seeing you soon.